Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's TGIF. We are, where are we? We are on Friday. That's right. Friday, Friday, Friday. We're happy about that. Sounds like a winner, winner chicken dinner to me. And let's get the chat line up there. Let's remove that. Remove that. And log into that. There we are. We're on the chat line now. Well, we're getting a commercial first, of course. And, woo. There we go. There we go. All right. Righty. So, let me see. Where are we going from here? Oh, yes. So now let's take a look at the dollar index this morning. Lots of wild news, lots of entertaining information. World Bank tells us that that the world is just not growing, and they're no, they don't talk about growing. They say the world is in too much debt, and they don't understand that you grow out of debt. You have to grow, out of it. In other words, you have to actually open up your markets, free people, and you become like America, enormously strong. And so they dislike that concept. Somehow or another, they want to run everybody. They want to tell you what size and color shoes to wear. They want to tell you what type of shirt, if it should be long sleeves or short sleeves. They want to tell you everything, but they don't want to let you, be free. So anyway, World Bank comes out and says, "Oh, the world's in too much debt." And then at the same time, we have in the United States, we have overspending, something like a 50% overspending going on, and that's being, the Federal Reserve is actually saying we need to pare back that a little bit. And so at the same time, you see the dollar, here's the dollar index, trapped. I mean, you can see it right there, it's trapped. It has no real clear direction. You see it over here on our beta, which we just got modified again. The beta is the same way, it's going sideways, they don't have a direction. When you look at the let's take a look at the dollar index on there it is right there. And you can see dollar on the index, on the other charting system, same thing. It's just trapped like we talked about. The last basically 8-9 days, it's trapped in this little plateau, sideways. Sometimes on the trading floors we would call that a channel, or we'd call it a envelope. In other words, it's just going sideways. And you can see here the weekly is still dipping down. We don't really believe the dollar is taking off like we're going to go see 105 or 107. We just, at best, this thing seems to do is play around the 102.5 area. You can see that there. We got up to like 102, almost 80 at one point, back about 6 days ago. But overall, it has been really lethargic. Hey! Who's that? Anna? Anahana. Yeah, that. Vinicius. How about if I just call you VA? I like that. That's easier. Hey, V. How you doing, V? Good morning to you, good afternoon, and good evening. So the markets are kind of trapped. As much. Now, gold is not, obviously. Let's show you. This is what happens when the United States fires a few rockets at I think they've really taken out a lot against the Hutu rebels. And you can see the gold here trading up around the 2055 area right there. You see it's popped up. But we've been in that cell. Let's see what it looks like over here. Oh, you can't see it. I just showed you on the beta. There it is right there. You see they're trying to get through. The weekly is trying to get through. That's a lot of action coming in there. You can see that right there. We got up to, I guess that today's high now is 58.7. That's $2,058.70. That's the high of the day now. That's a little nervousness, I guess you say. So money managers reach for gold. At the same time, normally they buy dollars. That's why we see the dollar index. That's why I brought it up here. Normally, that's why you see the dollar index doing the same thing. It's not going down. And I don't think, let's take a look at it. There's the dollar index again. And you can see right there, it's trying to push up, but it's not taking out yesterday's high. And then we go over to the euro and take a look at the second most active currency in the world right there. And you can see the euro is actually paring back just a little bit. Nothing major. Yo, Robin, cool. If you have any related questions, feel free to ask. Anything. We'll do it all. We like to talk about it all. So, we can see here, our math is telling us that there's not much action. You can see it in the gold. You're not seeing the dollar exactly explode. You're not seeing the euro actually collapse. And you can see the euro, as we have on the right screen there. Oh, right there. You see it's still in that weekly buy for, I don't know, what is it, 10, 11, 12 weeks now? Let's tighten that up there. So it's been in a weekly buy since 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's 9 right there. 11 weeks. We're the 11th week now in a weekly. Let's move the zero line down right to there. We've been in a weekly buy now for 11 weeks. And you can see even the daily today on the euro right there. It's pushing down, but nothing meaningful. I really don't believe, and we've said this over and over for months upon months upon months. Honestly, the dollar is okay. It's a little overvalued. It's not undervalued like they want to tell you on Bloomberg or CNBC or pretty much everywhere you turn in the United States. They want to tell us how the dollar is getting crushed. When in fact, the dollar got up to 114 on the index. To me, fair value is 100. So it's still just a little overbought. To me, it's not getting crushed. And when you look at other currency pairs around the planet, especially the major ones, you think, when you look at the euro and the Japanese yen, and you look at the top 6 pairs trades in the world, the Canadian dollar and the British pound and the kroner and the Swiss franc. These are the 6 major pairs trades in the world. They're not getting crushed. It's the opposite. They're looking actually kind of firm. You see, against the dollar, they're holding up very well. You see the dollar kind of hovering around the 1.00, or as we like to say on the trading floor, the one even, the one even, which is 100. So yeah, that's the damage is not really being done as much as the media wants to tell you. They've got their own narrative. I'll put my track record up against their track record any day of the week. We're both recorded. We're both recorded last year. We're recorded last week. We're both recorded 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You can see all our opinions here. You see we're way beyond them when it comes to accuracy. We're about 85, 90% over them all the time, which is dramatic. But in the end result, I'm not here to break my elbow, to pat myself on the back. I'm here to tell you is the dollar is not getting crushed. And the currency pairs against the dollar are not really being crushed. They're all seem to be around the fair value area at this point. The world is kind of organized at this point with the central banks that the interest rates are kept relatively flat. You have your problems. You have your, the currency that will not be named, which is the ruble, or you have the Turkish lira. They're getting whacked. You've got the Chinese yuan, which trades about 3% of all volume every day of the world. So, it's a minor currency. And it's fixed to the dollar like the Hong Kong dollar is fixed to the dollar, which is now like Argentina, where their currency is fixed to the dollar. So, the media really misunderstands the currency market in general, and I guess that's why we're so much more accurate, and they're less accurate. And then they confuse everybody. You get 2 different opposing points of view, and you think, well, they're a major network. They're Bloomberg, or they're CNBC. I guess I should pay attention to them. When in fact, they're underwater. They don't make any money, either one of them. They're financed outside the system. So in other words, people are not tuning into them, and they're not making money from the amount of people tuning into them. But they are a voice out there, so people pay attention to them. That's what it comes down to. I hope I'm not freaking you all out. Let's get over to the currencies itself, and if you want to see something, let's take a look at it. All right, so let's go back to the dollar itself on the dollar index. And then we'll go through some of the pairs trades here and take a peek. Let's see, okay. Right there. And there is the dollar index. Like I said, it's in an envelope for like the last 2 weeks going nowhere. It's going sideways in this channel. And you don't see it, it's not climbing through the weekly buy. It's in a daily buy. It's been in the daily buy since right there. And it's been hanging out for 4 days in a buy. And that's about it. Nothing exciting. Not going anywhere as particular. So, We talked about the euro. Let's go back to the euro. Talked about the euro yesterday, how they thought that the European Union was basically heading for a whole new era of action. And let's show you that story. Let's put that up on there. I found it to be a fascinating story myself. I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. Let's see, right there, and then right there, and oh, there it is, right there. And so they said basically is the pitchforks are starting to come out. In other words, the farmers, like they did with the Dutch, they basically said, we've had it. We can't afford to grow food. We can't afford to do this. You're worried about something 2 centuries from now, or something of that nature. And and you're seeing it politically now. You're seeing this happen right there, and that's what the EU's worst nightmare: pitchforks. They got a great picture for it. Look at that. Citizens of the multiple countries in both hemispheres are not only voting for populist candidates, but they are also working outside their entrenched political establishments to either enact desired changes or oppose undesired ones. And that's really what it comes down to, is that we're seeing the European Union, and we saw the Dutch, and we've seen the Swedes, and we've seen the Italians, and you've seen England break away from the European Union. You can see all that. It's happening. It's happening as we speak. You see Poland, Hungary, and so forth moving away from the European Union's matter of fact, it looks like Hungary may take over for 6 months the administrative side of the European Union and even shake it up even more. And so when you look at the euro, let's minimize that again. When you go to the euro, you think about, this is pretty calm for a currency that is being threatened with enormous political change. Probably because the political change is good, it's not bad. That's what the problem really comes down to, is that the political change is good. And they need to stop trying to tell us what color shirt we need to wear, or what size shoes we need to have on. It's time to let free markets be free, and that will make things grow, and that's usually the way it works. I know some of you don't like that idea because you've been raised inside the, good government. Government's good. Very good. It will protect you from the cradle to the grave. In other words, when you were born until you die. But in the end result is if free men and free women and free people cannot control their own markets themselves, in other words, their own way of life, how they want to be educated and what they want to do as a job and so forth, you will not be creating the next Apple. You will not be creating the next Amazon. You will not be creating the next Google or the next Tesla. When the government is controlling your every thinking move, we don't get a innovation. We like to call it in the United States, we call it creative destruction. I know, funny name, creative destruction. And what it is what it comes down to is you have the right to fail, and then pick yourself back up again and start over again. And maybe the second time. Does everybody know Colonel Sanders, the chicken company out there where they sell fried chicken? Mr. Sanders declared bankrupt when he was 68, almost tried to commit suicide, was totally frustrated that he had failed another time. Then he started over again, and the next thing you know, he's 70 years old and he's got a restaurant or two working, and he's got his secret formula of making fried chicken, and before you know it, he's a billionaire, okay, when he's like 76 or 78 years old. And so that's what it comes down to, is free markets and free people make growth in the world through trial and error. But when the government tries to pick the winners and losers, we're in real trouble. We don't grow. And that's what the World Bank is telling us today. They're saying, hey, we're not growing. You got too much debt. Well, stop telling us what to do. If you stop telling us what to do and just have the laws be fair for everybody, we'll grow out of the debt. And that's what it really comes down to. All right, I'm done my rant and rave about what's in the news today and how it matches up to the currencies and the dollar index and so forth. So let's take a look at the rest of the currencies. We'll go over to the British pound. And there is the British pound right there. You can see it's been firm for days right there in our math. This is our math right there. And you can see we've been in a long weekly buy, just like the euro, for 3, 6, 9, 11 weeks also. And it has, since it's been in that weekly buy, it has gone from the 121-ish area to as high as the 128 plus area. So again, I'm recorded every day. You can see what we say and how we put our charts up there, and you can't fudge them. In other words, we can't fake them. And so what happens is that you see the truth. You see reality. And like I said, our accuracy of our math is about 85 to 87% of the time. When using options and binaries, you're reducing your risk and increasing your potential profits. And that's why we suggest those things all the time about how great they are, how wonderful they can be. All right, from there, and let's put that cable up on J4X too at the same time. On J4X, what we have is we have a couple of public indicators that match up about 2 hours behind our math, but it's better to have something than nothing. And there it is. Let's try it again. There it is. And so the fast stochastic right here is at 71. The slow's at 74, and it's telling us there's a little pressure on the product since the slow stochastic is over the fast. And you can see here on the cable, our green line has turned down, trying to tell you the same story. There's the Janos. Janos, Doc, could you look at some tickers if there is time? Yes, let's look at them now. We're in no rush. The whole idea here is to, show you what you want to see. Doc, could you look at some tickers? Fire it, put them out, and we will. Okay, oh yes, that one. I like that. That's PayPal. PayPal is one of the largest banks in the world now, so it's a fun thing there, Let's go put it up on the screen here. I was looking at coin. There's coin. Let's do this. Let's add one more copy and paste. All right, we have that in there too. So let's put that in there. There's PPL. Or was it PYPL? Something like that. PYPL. PYPL. There we are. Let's get the weekly in there. PYPL. Okay, there we go. Now you can see here, we're still in that buy since right here. We've been in that buy since right there. And we'll just make that green like that. So it's been in a weekly buy from the, what's that, the 57 area, 56, something like that. Somewhere's around here. What is that? 50, basically 57 area. It has climbed all the way up to the 64 area. Backed off. We've gone into a daily sell. What was it? Right there. And we are now in a daily buy as we speak. Let's move that over to there. And you can see the daily buy from, we went into the daily buy there. Then we went to the sell right there. Then we went back into the daily buy right there. And what we do is we coordinate when we're in a weekly buy, like right there, and a daily buy, it's a buy. Buy, buy, buy. And the upwardly trend will do its thing. And then it finally fell into the sell back in, looks like right there. But you don't take a sell. All you would do is take a profit, if nothing else. And because we're in a weekly buy, so you don't play the short side, you just wait for the next daily buy, like would be like right there. And so it goes into the daily buy at 62.56 and trades as high as 63.60. So it's about a buck up, that's about it, and then it starts to roll over again. And that's where your stops and your options and everything do to protect yourself. Weekly, and you can see the weekly buy obviously is still in the weekly buy and doesn't look like it's trying to knock itself out. And then we can take this buy right there. You can see we went back into that buy right there at the close of 60.12, and for a couple of days it traded as high as 61.92. So almost a $2 move, and it's still in the buy in the daily and the weekly. There you go for that. Now let's do the SoFi. Did we get that SoFi in there last time? I think we did. It's like a $5 or $6 stock. So let's see if we can get that SoFi in there. I think it was less liquid. That's what I think. There it is, SoFi. Yes. Oh. And there is SoFi. That is on the edge of playing with the weekly sell. Went into the weekly buy right there. And that was on the, okay. That was in the 783 area. And let's put, it was in the daily buy from back in here. And then finally, it pushed itself into the sell for a day or two. And then jumped right back into the buy right there. With you in the weekly buy, then you could get long right here at, it was at 807. And then it ran all the way up to right to there. The high of 931. 807 to 930. Oh no, 1016. Got up to 1016 and then pushed itself back into the sell. Right there. So that was a winner chicken dinner there. Then you can see another buy here. Let's steal one of these sells. Another sell there. But you're in a weekly buy, so you're not taking the sells, you're just taking profits. You know, and that's what binaries are all about. That's a good thing about binaries. Then from there we went into, I guess we went into a sell yesterday. And then let's steal this buy right there. Went into the buy here for a couple days. I don't think it made much of a profit at all. I don't think there was. Let's see, it closed at 863. And the next day the high was 862, and then the next day the high was 860. So it has not, has not shown a profit, and now it's pushed itself into the sell, and still in the weekly buy though by a very small amount. So there you go. We have almost an 8.5 out of 10 right. So in this case here, the next time, if it doesn't go into a weekly sell and it stays in a weekly buy and starts to lift up and you get a daily buy, there's a good chance that the next trade is a winner. That's with that it's almost 9 out of 10 times right. So, and if it's not, then the next signal will be a really super duper winner, super duper 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 winner. Okay, from there, let's go to, where's your next one? PLTR. Let's see who PLTR is. PLTR. Let's look it up. PLTR. Now it doesn't really have much data in that. I'm not sure why. But PLTR just, there's not much in there. Let's try, I'm going to leave that in there. See if it, I'm not sure what the issue is. I chose the New York Stock Exchange for it. So let's try somebody else. MVO. I know we had MVO. Let's try that. There's right there. NVO. So now that's been in a weekly buy for a week. And it went into the sell here. and then went into a weekly buy here, right at the beginning of this move here. Let's move this over like that. Right there. Nice. And the sell was there. Let's move this over. And it looks like it went into the sell yesterday. Did that go into sell yesterday? Let's see. No, it didn't go into the sell yesterday. Nope. It's still in the buy, trying to go into the sell today. That's what it's doing. It's trying to go into the sell. And let's see. What else can we say? Let's just move some of these out of the way like that. There's a sell there. That was the buy right there. And then we have another sell right there. And that failed and lost right there. See that? 3 days of the wrong way. And we're in a sell too. And so then when it went into the buy, it went in no direction because, you know, we're in a weekly sell. And then we went into the sell here. It gave you a nice little win. And then it jumped right into the weekly buy a day later right here with the daily and the weekly together. And it jumped up and made all the money you gave up right there. So that's that. Let's see what Yana says. Looks like some people did not get that they could ask anything to and left. How about that? Oh well. Well, all they have to do is ask. If they ask, we will put in for them. You know how I am. Merck. You want to see Merck now? Okay, let's see what Merck's doing. MR. Okay, how about that? We don't have Merck in there. How about that? One of the biggest pharmaceuticals in the world. Merck Sharp and Dome. Look up. Now, why am I not seeing? Okay, there's Merck. There it is right there. Okay, Merck. All right, close. Merck. Bingo, bango, bongo. Ooh, that thing really took off. We've been in a weekly buy for a while. All the way back in here. Traders, you can ask questions. We'll take a look at what you were looking for. Just put it in there. I go in order. So it went into the weekly buy there. It wasn't a daily buy, so that was pretty cool. Went into the daily buy there, so you caught that whole ride. That's nice. Then the next buy was right there. That lost money. That gave up a lot of what you made over here, at least a quarter of it, if not a half. Then we went back into the buy right there and have never left it. And you made, depending on how you trade and way you trade, you made this whole move. That's what I say. When you go into a buy and you're in a weekly buy and you lose, usually the next signal can be really, really, really profitable. And sure enough, it was. All right, now who's left? A and F. I remember looking at A and F for you. A and F. You know, we got that PPI today. Oop, that didn't work. What happened there? Instrument. A and F. Stock. Add. A and F. That sounds familiar. What is A and F? I thought I had it in there, but I don't. There it is right there. Your key. Close. Here it comes. There's A and F. Ooh, nice. A 90 some odd dollar stock. That looks like fun. A and F. That sounds so familiar too. Hello. What indicators you use on the right side of your monitor? Stream is a bit of blurred, so it can't see. There are proprietary ones, so we've invented them. Right there. Wow, this thing's been in a buy since when? Oh my God, since late July. Went into the buy in the $40 area on the weekly. Right there, it went into the buy. All right, so let's do this, and we're going to scrunch it up a little bit so you can see a little bit better. We've been in a buy since all the way back there, and now it's at 98. It's doubled in price. And I guess, we could pull out the buys and the sells. Let's do this. Let's widen it, and you'll be able to see some of the daily buys that flat plopped in that helped out. So like this one right there, that was a winner. It's still in the buy. These were a green and a red there, so you don't get that. Same thing there, a green and a red. So that's been in a buy since the what is that? 86 area, and it took you almost up to the century mark. So that's pretty cool. That's almost a 10% move. Let's see, where's the last good buy? Let's steal this one. Put that over there. There was the last buy. That went from 86.67 up to right up to the, what's the high there? 94.08. That was another winner chicken dinner. There's another winner chicken dinner there. You buy it at 78.85, and it didn't go into a sell until 78.85. 85.15. Cool. All right. So yes, Pertin. Why don't you do price action? What price action? What do you mean? I am doing price action. We just have our own invention on price action. But, what I love is when someone sees our work and then wants to compare to, say, price action or MACD or parabolics or stochastics or you name it. We put them up there so you can compare the two. So if you have a product, I finished off Janos. If you have a product you want to look at, we'll put price action in, and you can compare it to our math and see how our math is doing. We'll do that right there. That's why there's other things in there. Remove study. And let's see what price action looks like. Insert study, and let's see if we can find price action. Price action. And we'll show you how, so far, that's why we started doing these webinars 10 years ago. We called them Algo Wars, algorithmic wars. I wanted people to challenge my math. And so that's what we do. But people have run away. Run away. Because they don't find an indicator that's better than ours. Let's see if we can find price action. There's price channel, price average, price. Which one of those do you want me to put in there? What price action should I put in there? Let's look further down and see if there's any other. Price action. So we got price value trend, volume trend, price reversal, price oscillator, price channel, price average, greater than, price average less than, pivot, 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 and parabolic, and so forth. So you just have to tell me which price action you want. I'm going to have a sip of my tea, and you tell me which one you want me to put in there, and we'll put it in there, and you can compare it. How brave are we? Bring it on. It's like Battle of the Bots. Like I said, we used to call ourselves Algo Wars, where we wanted people to put in their indicator that they liked, and if they had their own proprietary one, then we could figure a way of trying to show everybody. You could screen share in and show us yours. We could show us ours. We would do it live like this. Let me just show you this. This is cool. Oh, here we go. I mean trade without any indicators, just reading the price action. We are, well, you mean reading the tape? Ever since options were created, it's very hard to just read the tape. When price action, or if you're standing in a trading crowd, you can have a general idea of the price action. But off the floor, price action is very hard because there are things called listed options and future contracts, derivatives. And so when someone's buying something, it doesn't mean that they're getting long. They may be buying something to cover their short. They may be buying something to adjust their delta. So that's what price action is. Now, the old days, before there were such things, you could read the tapes. You could watch the volume. You could do statistics. You could do all kinds of things. Does that make sense to you, business? I'm going to take my sip of tea again. You're talking about reading the tape, right? So in other words, you're not using any statistics, no indicators, no algorithms. You're seeing people buy, and so you buy. You see people sell, so you sell. Right? Am I getting it right? Our algorithm outbeats price action. That's the problem. All right, let's see. Where are we at? Does anybody? Yeah. So those days are gone. Ever since listed options in 1976, that's changed the whole complexion. Now you trade billions of shares. Before we only traded like a million shares a day, or 1.5 million shares a day, or 2 million shares a day. Because when someone's buying something, you don't know if they're getting long, or they're adjusting their delta and getting flat, or if they're getting short, covering some of their shorts. And they're not doing it through the stock or the futures contract or the commodities or the currency. They're doing it through a derivative. So you're not seeing the 100% before listed options and listed futures contracts. You are not seeing the true opinion in price action. Does that make sense? I'm just waiting for you to come back. So that's pretty much the way we look. Is that how you trade? You do price action? You just look at things and get long or short? All right, that's no problem. When you get a chance to fill in and write, that's fine. We'll be glad to see it, and then we can go further in the conversation if you want. So let's see. I've shown all those tickers. So what do we do now? We go over to where were we at? Where were we at? Let's see. Where were we at? Let's see. There we are. We were at the cable. So from there we go to what we consider the best pairs trade at the moment in the world, and that is the Swiss franc. And there's the Swiss franc. It's in a daily buy for 4 days, as you can see right there. It's been in a weekly sell now, all the way back into the 90s, back in November. Let's see if we can find you the exact spot there. So basically up in here. Went into this weekly sell there, bounced around, went into a daily buy and protected your short, and then went back into a sell. You started catching some of that drift down. It stopped you again there, and then it caught that, and we stayed in that daily and weekly sell from there all the way down to there. Then we went to a buy again, and then there's another winner chicken dinner. It's what happens when you have a wrong with our math. It adjusts really quick and goes into making money. Then you have that nice long sell down to there. down to the 83s. So that is the way we roll around here. And we use our algorithms that we've invented over the decades to compensate for the multiple forms of being long and short, so you get a better picture of the trading action itself. And that's really what it comes down to. That is a biggie. That is a biggie. Biggie. And that is that the fact that, let me just write this down. We have a beta platform that you can try using, and we just updated it today, so we have new passwords for the thing. Just have to write that password in. All right. So if you want to know more, we can always give you more information. All right. From there, you're left at yes. Business is left at yes. Okay. So okay. Well, you can always tune in tomorrow, or put some writings together, and we'll work on it. This is like a trading pit. Ideas fly all over the place. We believe in free markets, free people. We try not to tell you how to trade. You tell us how you're going to use the math, and you do it yourself. In other words, you do it the way you want to trade. So that's all we do is give you some of the tools, and you can go from there. And I can't tell you how many times people over the decades, over the last almost 50 years, look at our math, and then they go, "Did you see that?" And I go, "No, I never knew that. That's pretty cool." And then I start learning a new nuance because it's free market, free people. And so, Robin picks up things, Janos picks up things, everybody picks up something. It's like artwork. Everybody sees something that nobody else sees, that type of thing. Now you can see here's the yen. The yen is trying to climb up again. We are flirting with the weekly buy. It's like, uh-oh, something's going on with the yen again. Who's going to get arrested in the LDP in Japan again? Let's put it up on there. And there it is there, that climbing up. Let's see, what else have we got going on here? From the yen, let's go over to the Great Experiment. There it is right there. There's the Turkish lira, where it closed at an all-time high last night at over 33. Is it 33 really? Yeah, I guess it is. Let's widen that out. Wow. Far out. So we just wish the folks in Turkey good luck. Hang tight. And from there we go over to the number one brick in the world, and that is the South African Rand. It seems to be trapped in that same envelope. Now, what's kind of surprising is you can see the South African Rand has been sideways and almost trying to go down, but it has been in that daily buy. You can see we tried to get into the weekly buy, and what did we do? Did we get in? I think we did. We got into let's just double check that. So we got into the weekly buy. So let's steal one of these weekly buys. So we got into the weekly buy there, and now we are back in the weekly sell, which is a bullish thing for the gold, but it's not really moving much. It's really trapped in here. It's really tight. And then what we do is we go over to the gold. And you'll see there's the gold. Gold right there. You see that? It is exploding up. It was as high as, what is that now? It's at 56, is that? I think it's bid, where's it bid at? 50. It's at 50. So it's $8 off its high of the day. We are trying to get into that weekly buy all week long. And we're seeing some strength in there. But nothing too meaningful. Obviously, when people start bombing each other's countries, that's always a bad thing, and that makes gold go up in value. From there, we'll go over to the silver. Because when we look at the South African Rand, we go and look at the metals complex. So let's do that. So there is the gold. Now let's put silver in there. There's the silver. Silver's doing the same thing. It's trying to climb up into the buy. Let's steal a buy line right there somewhere. Let's steal that one. So it's trying to go into the buy as we speak right there. Save workspace. There we are. It's not there yet, but if it closes there tonight, it will be. Also, it's trying to go into the weekly buy, which means we're very close to being in a weekly buy because today's Friday. So it's not the strongest weekly buy, but it is what it is. We'll just follow it. We follow the math. So then from there we go over to the copper. The copper is trying to lift up a little bit this morning. You can see that. This action pushed it a little bit, but more than that is it's looking pretty healthy there. Let's do this. Let's go over to this. We'll go to that, and we'll go do HG. It's been falling down. It's been trying to, perk up. It looks like it's very close to getting into the weekly buy as we speak right there. So, not sure, but it's the gold of China, so more than likely, when they see all this bombing, they reach for that metal. All right. And so then from there, let's go over to still nothing from business. Okay. Maybe tomorrow you'll come back and formulate what you're thinking, and we'll try to answer it. And there's platinum is trying to jump up today too, right there, trying to get into the little old buy. But it is also at the same time on the edge of going into the sell, which it was before, but now it's pushed itself out from this move up. So we'll remove that right there. So it's still in that buy since all the way back in November. And then we go over to, where do we go over to at this point? Go like that. And so that completes the look of the metals contracts. Because when we look at the South African rand, and then when the rand is going down, gaining against the dollar, that's what that's all about too. Let's just show it to you one more time. This downwardly slope from that high all the way down, it tells you that they are gaining against the dollar. Very little, of course, but they're gaining against the dollar. And when they gain against the dollar, usually the metals go up, not down. A sip of the coffee now. Now we're doing coffee. All right, so that does the metals. Now let's go over and check out the Brent. And there's Brent. We're going to show you Brent on the beta. This is a platform we're offering people to try out for a little while for free. And there's the beta, and the beta is showing us, it's climbing into the buy on the weekly basis last week. Now it's still up there, and you can see the daily is trying to turn up. You see that strength that's coming into it. Over in West Texas Intermediate, you can see it right there. There we go. There's West Texas Intermediate. You see the strength in that. It's trying to climb up in value also. Same situation. It's gone into the weekly buy last week right there. And you can see the daily jumped into the buy yesterday. Then from there, we go over to Nat Gas. Let's see what natural gas looks like. There it is right there. And let's put it up on J4X. Natural gas right there. You see it's over the $3 area now. It's at $3.20. We've climbed. We've been into the buy in the 250. That's odd. That's March. How can that be that? I'm confused there. Gas, $3.20. In the States here, we're trading it at $2.57. That's the March contract. Huh. Let's try that right here, too. So that must be the front month contract of February. And we're looking at March right there. That's what that is. That's the March contract. Today's the 12th. And so you can see on the beta, we're looking at the front month like Dukascopy right there at 320. And we're doing the same thing. We're trading up in the 320 area. You can see the dailies there, the weeklies, all that, all the strength. All right. Now, from there, PPI has come out too. Let's take a quick look at what they've been doing to the stock market like yesterday, how they front run the move. You see right there, they've knocked it down again a little bit. So this is, let's see, the news came out right, where did the news come out? Right there. Right there. Yeah, right. Basically, the news was released right there to the news media. And so you can see it's been working its way down since they released it. So I imagine it'll put more pressure on the stock market. Yesterday we stuck around just to show you how that works live. And it was pretty cool. We read it perfectly. Or the math read it perfectly, let's put it that way. And so that was really cool. What else can we say? How about a title today? Maybe we'll come up with a title like algorithms versus reading the tape type of thing, since that was the conversation, and we can do that. I think that's a cool idea, because if business is thinking about it, there must be other people out there thinking that to read the tape versus algorithms. Because yesterday I thought the idea of what I wanted the title to be, and then I didn't put it out there until Yana said, "Where the hell's your title at?" And I went, "Oh shoot, sorry, oops," and forgot to put the title out there. So today we'll do that now, right before we end the webinar. And so the title will be today, tape reading versus algorithms. And I think that's a very interesting one. And I would love to have those conversations. I think that's a great conversation to have. Tape reading versus algos. Or indicators. How about that? We'll just call it indicators. Algo indicators. How's that? That's even better. Indicators. And that's what I think. Tape reading versus algorithm tape indicator. Algorithm indicator. And to me, that's a very good conversation to have. I think business brought up a great subject. And we'll dissect that and talk about it over the next couple of trading days. So today is Friday. We will be here on Martin Luther King Day, or as what we like to call it in the States here, MLK. And the great Martin Luther King earned easily a day to be remembered. He is truly a great leader, and if they were listening to him today, the society would be a better place for it. Unfortunately, the Democrats never liked him. They locked him up in jail like they do Trump, and they never liked him at all. So it took John Kennedy to free him up. That same Georgia place locked him up in Georgia, too. Tried to lock him up just because of his freedom of speech. All right. This is Doc. We will be all here Monday. But our markets will be closed. So it'll only be the currencies moving around. So this is Doc saying, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Have a safe and a smart weekend. And don't do anything I wouldn't do. Ta-ta for now.